Today I'd like to talk to you about a project we've got going on in the Wyoming Department of Transportation, but first just a little backstory on Wyoming. We're not near as big as Alaska, but we are the 9th largest state with over 97,000 square miles. We are the least populated state with just over 564,000. Elevations in Wyoming, we have a low of 3,100 feet and a peak elevation of almost 14,000. The Wyoming Department of Transportation, we have 1,925 employees and 62 maintenance crews throughout the state. We are broke up into 5 districts, and then one of them includes our headquarters. 62 maintenance crews, which are responsible for 6,700 miles of roadway. We have 22 repair facilities across our state with 100 mechanics. Our Wyoming Department of Transportation fleet's just over 4,100 pieces of equipment. Of those, 1,100 are light duty, and of those light duty, 287 are highway patrol cars. We have 350 tandem axle snow plows, 47 single axle, 97 loaders, and 6 tow plows. What I'd like to talk to you today, Wyoming was awarded a cooperative agreement through the United States Department of Transportation to do a pilot program for connected vehicles. They awarded 3 different areas money to do this design project. One of them was the New York City DOT, the Tampa Express Authority, and then the Wyoming Department of Transportation. Wyoming decided to do their project along the I-80 corridor. To give you a little history on I-80, it's the highest elevation on I-80 is 8,640 feet. We have an average wind speed on I-80 of 20 miles an hour, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's average 24/7. Most areas get wind gusts over 80 miles an hour. Many areas along I-80 see average snowfall in excess of 100 inches, most of the time with excessive wind. So it causes a lot of challenges with accidents, road closures due to weather and stuff. So we'll go ahead and get into the presentation. So we're starting this connected vehicle project, and basically what we're doing is installing onboard units that are going to transmit and receive information from roadside units, and it's going to give drivers information as far as weather conditions, speed restrictions, stuff like that. So this just kind of shows the unit that's going in the vehicle, and then what we're installing alongside the roads. So basically, it's going to communicate with every vehicle that has a unit in it. It'll connect vehicle to vehicle and then vehicle to infrastructure. So it'll tell you if you're getting too close to the vehicle in front of you, as long as it's a connected vehicle, and then it'll give you different notifications for work zones, weather conditions, advisories, and stuff like that. So basically, we're going to start out with 400 units. 100 of them are going to go into YDOT equipment. We're putting 66 of them in our snow plows, and then 33 of them in our highway patrol vehicles that work on the I-80 corridor. But basically, 10 times every second, the unit's going to transmit safety messages and then driver speed, direction, and stuff like that. What they're hoping to do is it's going to help the traveling public plan their routes better. They're going to know what the changing road conditions are, what restrictions are, if there's advisories or closures ahead, to where some of these trucks that we end up, when we have road closures, get stacked up in one area. It'll allow these guys to get off the road prior to getting to some of these locations where there's no place for them to park. So it's truly not autonomous like Chris's project, but we're hoping that if we can educate the traveling public with the conditions ahead and what's going on, we can get them to slow down in some of these areas and not cause accidents and other issues like that. A little bit of history of some of the conditions on I-80. This is for 2016. In 1 year along I-80, we had over 1,600 crashes. 700 of those had commercial vehicles involved. 900 of them were light duty. We had a total of 1,552 hours of road closure in a 1 year period, which equals almost 62 days total that one portion or another of I-80 was closed due to weather or road conditions. Of those 1,600 crashes, 18 of those had fatalities involved, 271 injuries, and of those 1,317 resulted in property damage. So here kind of shows the little screen that will be up on the driver's dash somewhere to give them information. It'll tell them, brakes on if you're coming up on the back of another connected vehicle. If there's an issue, an accident, or somebody broke down, it may give them a mayday signal. If chains are required in an area or accident ahead, it'll give them some of that information. What the weather conditions may be, wind, fog, no light trailers, slick spots, whether they're approaching a work zone or if the road is just truly impassable, if it's closed. We also have variable speed limits along I-80, so that information will be downloaded in this, so they'll know if they're approaching an area where they need to slow down. It's also going to show active work zones, so hopefully we can get these guys to pay more attention going through our work zones and just, watch out for our construction crews and stuff. It's also going to display information on truck parking area and rest areas, so they'll know when they're coming up, if they're full or not. We have web cameras attached to all those, so in the event of a closed road, they'll know whether they need to, find a different alternative route to go or a place to park. So this is our plan. We're going to put up 75 units along I-80, mostly designated in the higher accident areas to get more information to the drivers faster. A total of 400 units we're going to install, and it's going to be tied to our transportation management center too. And this is kind of hard to see, but that's some of the locations that we're going to put these units up around the state. So basically, for our traveling public, if they want to get involved with this program, they've got to agree to do a survey at the end of the study. We're going to do this for 2 winters. They've got to go through a little training program and then install the system into their vehicle. This kind of just shows, we're installing. We just put the first unit in one of our snow plows last week, so it's ground floor right now. We really haven't got it up and running yet, but hopefully we will very soon. So I've got a little video for you to watch here, and it kind of explains maybe in a little better detail.
Interstate 80 runs east to west along Wyoming's southern border. This vital coast-to-coast route handles more than 32 million tons of deliveries per year. A high volume of trucks, combined with extreme seasonal weather, create dangerous driving conditions on this 402-mile stretch of highway. In 2016, there were 18 fatalities and more than 1,600 crashes, with over $865 million in economic cost to society. Improving safety in this critical corridor is a priority for the Wyoming Department of Transportation, or WYDOT. With funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation, WYDOT is deploying a connected vehicle pilot to help I-80 travelers get home safely. Here's how it works. Roadside units at hotspots along I-80 broadcast messages to onboard units and trucks that frequently use the highway. Onboard units communicate with roadside units and other connected vehicles, giving drivers in-vehicle alerts on the most accurate and up-to-date information on road conditions miles ahead. Onboard units inform drivers about adverse weather, stopped, distressed, or slow-moving vehicles, road closures and restrictions, parking availability, and active work zones. To ensure that the alerts and advisories are accurate, WYDOT also plans to collect real-time information from snowplows and other fleet vehicles. This is the future of safe driving. Learn more about the Wyoming Connected Vehicle Pilot.
What's the cost per unit?
About $400.
Does the public get to keep the unit once they're done with the test?
Yes, they do. It probably won't, I mean, unless we go forward with it after the test, it won't be of much value, but something we can expand on and keep it going, because I think, you know, if we can eliminate one of these multi-car fatality accidents, it's worth it in the long run.
The preceding video was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found at tsp2.org. That's tsp2.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.